Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Kevin Conway here with a very quick, brief update on the latest in the $1,400 stimulus checks, the $10,000 EIDL program, rent assistance, and the overall next $1.9 trillion stimulus bill proposed by now President Joe Biden. We're going to be covering all of those topics very briefly in this video, trying to keep it at a high level, and then I'll make follow-up videos going into detail on each one of the topics. So if you can give a like to this video, it really helps the channel out a lot, and it gets the video out to more people, and it spreads the knowledge. That's all I ask for, and if you're new here, subscribe so you can stay informed. With that being said, let's just jump right into the very latest. As we know, current President Joe Biden has said that he supports a $1.9 trillion stimulus bill. However, we do not have the text of that bill as of right now, and that is a problem because it means that we are going to start at square one. Right now, Joe Biden has simply said that he supports a list of items, including the $1,400 stimulus checks. And if you do the math, $1,400 plus what we already received, $600 back in December or in January for a lot of you, that equals $2,000. That $2,000 stimulus check is what he was proposing. In reality, it's a $1,400 supplement to the $600 check that was already passed. Now, the difficulty of that stimulus check will be the fact that we have the upcoming impeachment trial on February 8th. We don't have the text of the stimulus bill as of right now. And so as soon as the impeachment trial begins, we're going to pretty much not have any bipartisanship at all. And it's not really that difficult to see why. As soon as the Democrats are going to be pushing to impeach former President Trump, I think that they're not going to receive any Republican senators to vote on the bill, and therefore the Democrats will have to use a budget process called reconciliation if they want to pass the stimulus bill. But using reconciliation is not the ideal thing. The reason is because reconciliation is only for tax and budget matters, which means all of the other items that the Democrats want on their stimulus bill, such as $15 minimum wage and other increases and other sorts of programs, are not going to be able to be passed with the stimulus bill because it needs to be narrowly tailored to fit within the reconciliation rules. It also doesn't allow the Democrats to use reconciliation in a way that they would like to pass future bills, such as those on infrastructure and other spending matters. So basically, they're going to use this bullet to pass the stimulus bill, and I don't think that they would have to if they can get the bill passed before the impeachment trial begins. Now, will those $1,400 stimulus checks actually come? And if so, who will qualify? Well, as of right now, like I said, we don't have the text of the bill itself, so we cannot know for certain. All we can do is look at what senators and representatives have said about the $1,400 stimulus checks and other economists as well. So as of right now, we know that there pretty much is bipartisan support for an additional round of stimulus checks. Now, to who gets those stimulus checks is the question. What I mean by that is it looks like adult dependents and college students will be included in this round. However, it looks like the income cutoffs will be shifted as well. It looks like those individuals making as a household above $100,000 a year will likely not receive a stimulus check. We know that because Senator Joe Manchin has said as much, and it looks to be the case that, of course, this stimulus check will have to be more narrowly tailored in order to keep the total cost down, which will get Republicans on board and help them pass the bill with a bipartisan majority. We have support of this stimulus check from people on the right and the left, and also those individuals like Janet Yellen, who was a former Fed chair, who says that we need to go big with our next stimulus bill. We also have Goldman Sachs saying that it's very likely a stimulus check does pass, the $1,400 stimulus check, and it looks like that'll pass by mid-February to mid-March is when Goldman Sachs is estimating the stimulus bill will pass. That's part of the reason why you're seeing the stock market increase so much, because the stock market and the people who are investors are expecting additional stimulus very, very quickly. And we also think that there could be a vote in the House as early as the week of February or even later in this week, but it's likely going to be the first week of February. And once it passes the House, it'll go to the Senate and hopefully it could pass before the impeachment trial begins. And that's pretty much all we have on the stimulus check update. Again, there hasn't been a lot of news. There's been a lot of talk, but we don't have the bill right now. As soon as we do, I'll be breaking it down with a subsequent video. Now, what about the programs that already exist right now? Well, the EIDL program, the $10,000 grant from the SBA, there's been a lot of confusion with that My videos in the past have detailed the status of the SBA and the chaotic nature of that administration. They came out with a press release saying that it was open to the public, and now it's not open to the public. So what are we to expect? Well, it looks like if you received any EIDL advance before, you're going to be contacted by the SBA, and you're going to be able to get a subsequent EIDL advance up to a grand total of $10,000. That's the first batch of people, and then you have to meet certain criteria from there, such as living in a low-income area and having a 30% drop in revenue. And then if you applied last time and you didn't receive any money, but you were approved for the loan, it looks like you're going to be next up under those same criteria. That is 30% drop in revenue and live in a low-income area. And then from there, if they have money left over, it looks like they'll open it up to the public. We'll know more in the coming days. What about rent assistance? Rent assistance is a program that has been reauthorized. It was first started in the CARES Act and then reauthorized with the newest stimulus bill. How do you get rent assistance? Well, I'll be making a full detailed video next, so be sure to subscribe so you can see in detail how to actually get that money. But here's what you need to know. January 26th is the date in which the states are going to receive the new stimulus money. So all of those states, which are then going to distribute it to their counties and cities, will get the stimulus money for rent assistance on January 26th. How long it takes each municipality to actually implement the program, open up their sites again for you to apply, that depends on your county. So I suggest that you reach out to your counties and your cities now to let them know that you need this money and that you want to be able to apply for this money quickly, as opposed to in a much slower fashion. Some cities like New York City are way ahead of the game, and most other cities are way behind. So just expect that this week we're going to see a lot of movement in the cities and counties to actually allow you to apply for rent assistance once more. And lastly, if you haven't received your stimulus check yet, you're probably going to want to use the IRS portal tracker to track your payment. And if you're still not going to receive it, you're going to want to use the recovery rebate tax credit when you file your taxes for 2020. That tax credit is going to equal the amount of stimulus money that you ordinarily would have received had you actually gotten the actual check. I know it's not perfect because you have to then file your taxes and get the rebate from there, but it at least is something. And just know that if you qualified under the stimulus check last time, you're going to be able to get at least something that is a reduction in your taxes or an actual rebate into your pocket. It's going to take a little bit of time, but just know that is basically the latest in that front. With that being said, any questions you guys have, leave them in the comments below, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.